Hey, what's up guys? Told you I'd be back real quick with a painting video. I just wanted to touch on a couple things from the last video of the shaping of the gauntlet guns or wrist guns, whatever you want to call them. A few shots you see me step off screen. When I was stepping off screen, I was using my bench grinder to get some of the bigger chunks off. These are a little painted now, I'm going to go through it, but on them where these steps come in here, instead of sitting there hand sanding all of that, I took it over the bench grinder and just drove it into it and let it take the big chunks off. So that's why you see me step off and then all of a sudden it comes back and it's in a different shape. So if you have one, use one. It takes off a lot of material. If you have a bandsaw, which I did not, you could have done that too. You know, just drove it and cut that square out. Same with some of these other cuts you probably could have done with a saw of some sort. Other than that, let's get into the painting. As you can see, I have this one nicely started. I don't know if you guys can really see with my terrible lighting in my dining room. I did not paint the backside because that's just going to be sitting on here, so I'm not going to waste my time painting it. You can kind of see how it looks in size comparison on my arm. The piece I told you guys I missed, I painted it in. You know. For paints, I plasti dipped it, like I mentioned in the last video, with a gunmetal gray. And then everything else I decided to paint with an acrylic paint. So the red here, or maroon, is actually a mix of, two acrylic paints. It's burnt sienna and the crimson, which is good because I got my crimson tied hat on. Roll Tide, baby. So it's just acrylic. That's all it is. So really it's not much. It's about a 50-50 ratio. It came up with a pretty darn close color match. I mean, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get some more shots. I have pictures of them too I will include in the end of this video. But as you can see, it's a pretty close match to the pictures that you'll find online. The only thing I haven't put on here yet, which I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it, whether I'm just going to paint it in or actually engrave it, is the I am the light, the way crossed here. I've tried a few things so far. I've tried some paint with a real fine brush, but I'm not getting the right look. And I want it to look nice, so I do have a small engraver. I might try that next on some scrap foam first and then come back. So that's that. As you can see, they are not weathered or anything, you know, they look new, the gold's all shiny and everything like that. So I will do all the weathering together with the rest of the armor. I'll just do it all at once so that way I'm not, you know, doing everything separately. Black was just straight black acrylic. The only thing I didn't use only thing that wasn't acrylic was the gold. That is something I've done a few times, is take gold spray paint, I spray it in a cup and then brush it on to get that, you know, gold on there. So that's what I did for that. But all in all, for a first go before weathering, they're pretty much done. You can see, you know, they look all right. They didn't turn out absolutely perfect, but you know, there's the front, the notches, you know. So if you guys have any questions about the paint I used, the paint I normally use for acrylic is just this Reeves. It was like a beginner set that you get at Michael's, or I think Joe and Fabrics, all those stores even have them. It's pretty good paint. I'm actually finally starting to run low. I thought I would never run out of these because they don't paint that often with hand paints. They usually rattle can everything. So, you know, I'm actually running low, especially now after all this red. It did take me about 3 coats to get that deep of a red, because even with the plasti dip, it wasn't, you know, staying. It seemed like it was still soaking in. I didn't include any video of me painting them because I really didn't think you guys want to sit there and watch me paint. Just explain what I used, explain the colors that I used, and hopefully you guys can, you know, figure it out for yourself. You don't have to watch my hand actually go across the piece. But other than that, I mean, there she is. There's going to be some pictures. Like I said, I got some better lighted pictures. I am missing, and for anybody's paying attention, the gold bullseye here. Again, it's gonna be a really small detail. I'm figuring out how I want to get that tight of a detail without making it look all blurry and messy. But there she is, painted, ready to go. Next step would be mounting it onto something that we can strap onto his arm. Oh, that's the wrong side. That's gonna go over here. But you know, they're ready to go. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. Thanks for keeping up with the build. Next, I think I'm going to knock out his shoulder pads. He's got like a shoulder cap with a lower piece here. He's got a cap on that goes over his shoulder, which that's going to be the easiest. It looks like a piece of square bone rolled over his shoulder. So that's going to be fun. But for this, playing with a few different ideas of what I'm going to do. And I'll knock out the knee pads, which for those, all I didn't get carbon copies of what you see in the movie. I just got some knee pads, went to Harbor Freight. They're like $2, and I'll do the same thing, that double up with, he's got what looks to be a knee pad, you know, with another knee pad, you know, over it. So it's like 1.5 if you look at the pictures online. So that'll be next. Then it'll be strapping, buckles, and the cloth work. I'm leaving that to the end because there isn't much of it now that I went back through. So we'll do that all when I hook up the straps and all that. So stay tuned. Next video, I should have how I did this and what we're going to do for shoulder pads and that. So thanks again, guys. Like always, please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.